this mountain, my dear. On the other side of this mountain, my dear.
WeP3 Radio is produced in partnership with Reads Across America Radio. Support the mission to remember the fallen, honor those who serve, and teach future generations the value of freedom at readsacrossamerica.org.
It's Sunday, June 28th. You tune in to the People's Patriot Project. We got your 6 at 6. Right now, you're listening to WeP3 Radio, proudly produced in partnership with Reads Across America Radio. Together, we share a mission to remember the fallen, honor those who have served, and teach the future generations the value of freedom. The freedom bought, paid, and secured for by the brave men and women who have worn our national and local uniforms. Stay tuned for We Got Your 6 at 6. Now playing on WeP3 Radio, Jenny Cole Murdoch, Heart Sunk Low.
Sometime, somewhere, don't care, get there where the rain all shine. A hole in the wall, something tall, something strong, drink them all till I feel.
Left your left, hey. Left, right, your left. You got it.
Trucker.
Doctors, roll out.
You're watching or listening to We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. We the people, the People's Patriot Project.
To put your skill set, your thoughts, and ideas, or want to help continue the mission, you have come to the right place. We are the People's Patriot Project, and we are the shock and awe when it comes to meeting the needs of our veterans and first responders. We are dealing with a new enemy in today's world where the wounds are not always seen. We want you to be a part of this mission in saving lives and making a difference. Welcome to We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. Here's the WeP3 team bringing you today's best heroes hits in the boots on the ground organizations that are saving lives. And as always, Patriot Pride.
Left, your left, hey. Left, right, your left. You got it.
Truck it on!
Good evening. It's Andrea Eichmann here with the People's Patriot Project. I'm here tonight with Mark and Frank, and we are going to do our We Got Your 6 at 6 show, as we do every week at 1800 Sunday evenings, Central Standard Time. We're going to bring you a couple really cool things tonight, you guys. We have got Jack Blaise. He's been here before. He's got some new music that he's going to be sharing, and he's going to be hanging out with some cool stuff. And then, in the place of Bobby, Allison Standifer, we will visit with Don Goodman and Macy Reagan, and they will be sharing about the mission of Freedom Sings USA with us tonight. It is the end of June, you guys. Let's get ready for July. I'm sure big celebrations and parties this weekend. We do want to throw out some things to our sponsors. So I am going to throw out Catch 22, peer support group with Derek Iozio, linked into all kinds of people for whatever kind of support, or maybe just a cup of coffee and a conversation for you out there. Derek Iozio, the godfather of the People's Patriot Project. If you need something, he knows where and how to get that done. Then we've got Operation Texas Strong. This is Bobby and Peggy Kretzinger down there in Weatherford, Texas. They are collecting RVs and taking homeless vets off the street and giving them homes in these RVs. And their campground is being built, and it is so incredibly exciting. Thank you, Peggy and Bobby. If you guys have or know anyone who has an RV, camper, anything of the sort to donate, just let them know, and we'll get that to them and let them get busy doing what they do. And then we've got Stephen Rainwater and Mr. Jonathan Wills with us at Business Growth Engine. They are out there, holy cow, doing the technology pieces. You guys, I worked with them for like 4 hours this week. And oh my goodness, if you've ever seen the code on the side while you're talking in their building, it is craziness. Phil, I will get you in contact with them. Thank you for sending a quick note. For sure. All of our sponsors, our guests, and our listeners, you guys, we want to send out a great big thank you. And then before we get into this week's show, I want to invite you to take a moment to join us for this amazing version of the Star Spangled Banner with Dave Bray, USA.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take the time to stand if you are capable of standing. Out of honor and respect, please remove your covers and prepare yourself how you need to show your greatest gratitude for the amazing freedoms and liberties we have achieved under one of the most powerful symbols in the world. Please cast your attention as we respect our old glory.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallant
was unaware that flag is still there. It's our future to save, stand in the frame, the U.S. of A. Oh, say, just that star, spangled banner, yeah, wave for the land of the free. In the home of the
Patriot Pride.
It is Sunday, June 28th, and you are here for We Got Your 6 at 6.
Just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your
Oh, here we go, and the loop's not on this week, folks. I miss that one every week. The loop is always on.
No, you got it off. That's good.
So excited, so excited. You know what? I get to talk first on this thing, and I don't know why they let me do this, but I get to do it. But I can't tell you, because I do a little monologue before where we get to have this on a lot of our shows, and I can't tell you how excited and honored I am to be an American. Going into the 250th year of this country. Now, I'm a school teacher by day, folks, and I don't know if you've taken the time to kind of do the math on this, but let's think about this. If you take three generations that are 82 years old, three 82-year-old people, that's the start of our country. Everyone wants to make this thing like we're a legacy, we've been here forever. Folks, look what we have gotten done in 250 years. And I am proud to be an American. I am proud. Now, am I proud about all aspects of everything that's happened in our country and where we're going and what we did and how we're doing it? Nope. There's some blemishes, but that is the amazing part of our country. We get to grow. We get to grow. I'm also super excited about, I'm not a soccer fan, folks. I'll be the first one to tell you this. But what, and I don't know if I say it right, FIFA, soccer person, help me out. It's the World Cup. Macy, you're super. You seem like you're super smart. So when I say something wrong, you're like, let me correct you. Go ahead and do that. That's okay. This World Cup thing that's happening in the United States, I kind of feel like it's a life changer in a sense, in the fact of how many people, you are seeing it everywhere. People celebrating the great things that we have in our country from other countries coming over and say, you know what? We've been told through our media, we've been told this is the story. We've been told expect to get mugged when you go there and stuff like. I'm hearing absolute great, amazing stories, watching video of people gathering and celebrating and just doing good things. Gosh, how hard is it, folks? That's it. So I'm proud to be an American. Throw a little Lee Greenwood in there and just run them with that for the night. But we got some other things to do. So we do have one more spokesperson I'd like us to hear from before we get started. And we'll have a little dialogue after this. But this is Bastion the Bison, with a message for WeP3.
At the People's Patriot Project, our mission is more than just words. It's a call to action. Each of us bears the vital responsibility to check your six. We begin this important journey with a moment of self-assessment. Ask yourself, are you truly mission ready? If the answer is no, don't wait in silence. Reach out. Use your skills. Lean into your resources and connect with your network. Whether you turn to a trusted friend, a supportive organization, or dial 988, remember, you must be battle ready to stand strong for the mission ahead. Once you feel equipped, take that next step. Reach out to 6 people in your circle. Check in on them. No agenda, no judgment, just genuine connection. This is how we build strength, shield one another, and serve our communities with pride. Together, we reaffirm our commitment. We got this. Patriot Pride.
All right, so that video was created so I don't talk so much. And then now I have to talk a little bit more because the why. Why do we have Bastion? First of all, we wanted a strong, powerful American symbol. And my personal belief is the bison is one of the most powerful symbols in the United States. My opinion. It's not meant to be a joke. It's not to be lighthearted. It's not meant to, it's meant to send a real life message that it is time for us to stop, slow down. This is like First Responder 101 here. Look at your space. Are you okay? Do your battle check. If you're not okay, then you need to reach out to somebody. You need to reach out to an organization. You need to reach out to a peer. You need to reach out to 988. That's your job. That's what you need to do. If you are battle ready, because we are in the fight of our life here, folks, then take the time, grab your phone, type in just thinking about you, or check your 6 if you want to go with the branding, checking you. Reach out, cut, paste a conversation, 6 conversations. That's only 5 on the end. I'll get another one. That's 6 conversations that we are reaching out to. I got tired of hearing the message from my peers and collaborators. I wish I'd have reached out one more time. Here's your chance, folks. Here it is right now. The other one I got tired of him. Well, I wish I had just reached out to me. Garbage. You didn't do your job. Get out there. Check your 6. Let's make a difference. We got some amazing guests here tonight, folks. We got Don Goodman and Macy Reagan here with Freedom Sings USA. And we didn't know what was going to land in our lap when we started this conversation. But check this out. Don Goodman, tell us who you are, tell us your mission, and tell us what you're getting done, brother.
Well, thank you for having us on the show tonight. My name is Don Goodman. I've been a songwriter in Nashville since 1971. And we started Freedom Sings in, I think, about 12, 13 years ago. And we have now written somewhere between 600 and 700 songs with veterans, their family members. It's our mission is to let no one should be an unsung hero. Everyone should be able to tell their story and have it heard. I've been blessed in my career because I've made my living doing what I love. I wrote Overhead for Blake Shelton. I wrote Angels Among Us for Alabama. And I could sit here and name many more, but I won't. And I think now that I have been so blessed that this is my opportunity to say thank you. I do everything I can to help these veterans. Is there anything you would like to ask me?
I mean, we'll just keep going through the format. But again, first of all, do you have a school to learn how to talk the way you talk? I mean, everyone in Nashville's got that swagger. Is that just come natural, or do you have to learn how to do that?
I think, well, when you knock doors for 50 years, you know, you learn how to talk your way into the door. But when we first started this, the very first song we ever wrote, we had a gentleman named Jerry Harris there, and he's a line in his song that I'll never forget. His song is about two Jerrys. One Jerry was 19 years old going to Vietnam. The other Jerry was 69 years old. And he says, sometimes young Jerry turns off the light and old Jerry lies there awake all night. And that's what got me hooked and addicted right there, man. These stories they just make great songs. They make great songs. And the families get to hear. Most guys won't talk about it, you know. And when I say guys and girls, nowadays we have women in combat. And these songs, one time, here's another thing. We played a veteran song down in Georgia. And when the song was over, the veteran wanted to write his song was called Living With My Decision. He made a decision, and the result of that decision got 3 people killed. And when we played a song that night, I was talking to somebody, and I felt somebody tugging on my pant leg. And it was a little boy, about 8 or 9 years old. And he looked up at me and he said, "Sir, I think I know now why my daddy cries sometimes."
You have an amazing gift listening to some of the songs that you have rattled off as being part of, but that message right there is what music is all about. That's why that's one of the things that we've adhered to is the music aspect. It's a sustenance. Everyone gets fed, and what do you get fed by is the question. But I know that everyone plugs into, I know it's playlists mostly now, but plugs into a radio station, a playlist, or even have just, you know, their own downloads, and finds a comfort, a resolve, an answer, a solution through music. And I mean, you know, we've got a legacy leader here on the show tonight with Don being on here. And what he's done in the world of music, you've seen a few things, haven't you, brother?
Well, I sure have. When 52 years down on 16th Avenue, I've watched so many different eras of heroes and great singers and great songwriters come and go. And now I'm watching all these great veterans and all these songwriters that travel with us. We're in Kansas City tonight doing a retreat. We're traveling today, and we'll be doing a retreat there this weekend. We'll be writing songs with veterans. And we walk in the door. We've never met these guys and girls, and we sit down and with them and just start asking them easy questions, you know, like, where were you born? What did your daddy do? You know, what prompted you to join the military? What was your motive? And then before you know it, you've made a friend for life. I get phone calls every day from people I wrote with 15, 16 years ago. And it's so rewarding. I can't get to tell you how rewarding it is.
Well, it's clear you are blessing their life, and their outcome is blessing your life. And in the return, I appreciate you for continuing the mission with our veterans, and you're a blessing, brother. Thank you. I want to bring Macy in real quick. Is he doing a good job? Is this, you got him? This is the way it's supposed to work?
Sure is.
Okay. Tell us your role with the organization, dear.
I'm the marketing intern for Freedom Sings USA, and I attend college as well.
So what do you get done when you're doing that?
Well, no 2 days are the same for me. We could have a retreat coming up, and I will be making flyers and posters, or we can be planning an event weeks and months away and do the advertisement for that as well. No 2 days are the same for me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, what made you decide to work with Freedom Sings USA?
Undoubtedly, the people. You will never meet a group of people that care as much for these veterans and for these songs than in Freedom Sings. There's really no other way to describe it but unconditional love and care. These people care so much about each other, and it just made everywhere else stand out. It made this place stand out from anywhere else I could have ever gone. How could I choose somewhere else?
How did you? I mean, you say they're amazing, but before you got in there, what were you? How'd you get your feet wet? I mean, what? Like, oh man, this is where I got to go.
Well, I actually had an interest for music therapy for the longest time. My dad was a Marine, so I kind of had a little bit of background knowledge, but I didn't know much about it. He completed his service before I was even born. So I wanted to learn more about it. And the mission behind Freedom Sings is just so amazing. And it made it stick out to me.
Are you a musician?
I am no musician.
Okay. All right.
I wish I was. I'm working with some amazing musicians.
Yeah, the list is pretty exciting when you go through the list of who you guys have in your network, and a number of people we've really wanted to make connections with, and maybe we can have that conversation at another time. But I get people are busy, and the channels get locked down pretty tight when you're working with some of these people. So I greatly appreciate both of you being here tonight. We're going to hear more about Freedom Sings USA here in a minute. We're going to bring Jack Blaise into the page. And Jack Blaise, how you doing, brother?
I am doing well. How are y'all?
Very good. Miss Eichmann, you did the research on this. When did we have Jack on here last?
Oh, Pete's sake. That is something I need to...
Curveball.
Yeah.
Get it to us. We're good. Jack, tell us who you are. Tell us about your service.
It was almost a year ago when I was here, actually. Almost exactly. I'll let Andrea look at the date, but yeah, it was almost exactly a year ago. But I'm Jack Blaise. I was in the Army, and then I was in the Marine Corps. Both of those in the 1990s, so I didn't deploy or do any of that fancy stuff. But then in 2004, I got in the Houston Fire Department and was a paramedic fireman for about 10 years before I had to retire due to a medical issue. Yeah, so that's me. I will say that I got into music and songwriting specifically through a group exactly like Freedom Sings. It was a different group called Soldier Songs and Voices. If I can shout them out real quick. But yeah, kind of and I will definitely second everything that's been said so far as there's something special that happens when you get in the room with another songwriter and tell your story and learn how to put that into music, and the healing that happens with that is just amazing. And that's what got me into music. And now I recently moved down here to Nashville to try to learn my craft a little bit better. So
we've got a dear friend with Freedom Sings USA, Mike Corrado. I'm hoping maybe we can make a connection with that, just at least for the opportunity of collaboration, and maybe it expands your network a little bit and vice versa, and just putting some names in the hat. But let's roll with one of your songs, brother. Which ones you want to go with first?
Let's start with Bow My Head. We can do that one.
All righty. This is Jack Blaise. I Bow My Head.
I was raised up under the stars and stripes. I got down on my knees each night. I heard the good news, said the pledge each day. When 19 came, I went away. Became a cog in the green machine. Man, you wouldn't believe the things I'd seen. So when that flag is raised and the anthem plays, and those jets go thundering through the sky, keep your heads held high, so you don't wonder why. I bow my head, so you don't see me cry. I'm haunted by some things I've done. In the name of the Father and the Son. The yellow ribbon, a hero's parade. It's all fool's gold at the end of the day. It's shiny enough to make you believe. It's stone cold against a widow's grief. So when that flag is raised and the anthem plays, and those jets go thundering through the sky, keep your heads held high, so you don't wonder why. I bow my head, so you don't see me cry. Yeah, keep paying your lip service, don't look beneath the surface, 'cause that's where you'll find how it feels coming home to a sack full of pills to try and numb your mind. Now here I sit in the land of the free, where my neighbors, they want to take from me. I gave so much, they still want more. But what the hell was it all for? So when that flag is raised and the anthem plays, and those jets go thundering through the sky, keep your heads held high, so you don't wonder why. I bow my head, so you don't see me cry. When that flag is raised and the anthem plays, and those jets go thundering through the sky, keep your heads held high, so you don't wonder why. I bow my head, so you don't see me cry. Yeah, I bow my head, so you can't see me cry.
That is Jack Blaise. I Bow My Head. Jack, what's your general genre of music? I think we got some audio stuff. What's his? Oh, his mic's cut.
Oh, you're muted.
Sorry, I was muted somehow. Yeah, I Americana, I guess is what I would call it, because you know, I get a lot of bluegrass influence, a lot of blues influence, a lot of country, a lot of rock and roll. So I mean, I don't, and if you listen to right before I came to Nashville, I left Texas. I went into the studio and recorded my new EP, which that song is off of. And if you listen to it, like every song is got a kind of a different feel to it. Yeah, so I usually ask other people, you know, what do you think the genre is? Because it's just kind of whatever comes out at that moment. I mean, it's all, you know, country Americana-ish, but and I hate answering like that, because then you just sound like that pretentious, oh, well, I do things much different than everyone else, you know, but it's not really that. It's just kind of, I don't know what to call it, you know.
it is super important for me to ask artists how they identify themselves. It's kind of a weird conversation in other realms and stuff, but because we have in our network Jovan Newman, who is, I think he is urbanish, popish kind of, and you ask him how he identifies, he goes, I'm country. And that started this whole conversation about 2 years ago when I'm like, it's important for the musician to have the identity, but the reality is, regardless of what song you put out there, what message you intended, people can get a complete different message from the music than what maybe even wasn't intended. And we've ran into that a number of times. And it's not a bad thing. It's just, I think musicians have grown too. And you're right. There's that pretentious piece where this is the message. I want you to hear that message. But then we have the artist out there that says, this is what I got out of it. This is what I wanted people to get out of it. But there's other stuff that you can hear through it as well. And so just appreciate it. We got some stuff coming up from you today that is going to boggle the minds a little bit. I'm just going to put that out there. We'll have to do a little message here coming up on one of his songs, but we struggled with how much do we reveal, because he wants the natural reaction to the song. So I'm trying to precursor this, so maybe people forget about it by the time we get there. But that's how we're going to do it. All right. Who would you say is your music influence in the world?
My biggest influences are people like, kind of like myself, that don't, sometimes have very strong genre specific kind of feel and sometimes don't. Like Dwight Yoakam is a huge one for me, obviously country, and yet at the same time, he covers Prince. I cover Prince also, by the way. But songwriters, Townes Van Zandt, with that just the saddest crap you think you could ever believe hearing, that kind of stuff. But then, Guns N' Roses, The Clash, so I'm kind of all over the map. And honestly, the first song I ever wrote was when I was in high school. Then I wrote a rap song for a pep rally. So, yeah. And I find myself these days though, Jim Morrison, another big one, Leonard Cohen, bring some of that poetry in. So
I love that conversation, only in the fact that, again, we've already kind of alluded to that. We believe that music is sustenance, and who wants to eat pot roast and potatoes every single day of their life? I mean, I like me a good taco. I mean, let's be real. I'll push the pizza away, but if it's the last thing in the room to eat, I'll probably eat that too. But to explore is awesome. And again, how more rounded can you be as a musician when you have all the tools in your pocket and you've experienced and driven in all areas? Love having you here, Jack. Excited to hear more. Macy, I'm going to come at you. Here we go.
I'm ready.
What is Freedom Sings working on right now? What are you guys getting done?
Well, we have a lot of events coming up. We are going to Junction City, Kansas this coming week, as Don was talking about. I think he's in the process of traveling. I'll be traveling tomorrow to get up there and write some good songs and capture some really cool things. Then we've got Heroes Night at Honky Tonk Central down in Nashville on Thursday, 4th of July type of celebration. And then on July 11th, we're going to be featured at the charity Gary Sinise concert in Wheaton, Illinois, where our Hunter Girl will be opening.
Wow. Good stuff. Good stuff. What is the highlight of your experience to this date involved with Freedom Sings USA?
Well, when I first got involved with Freedom Sings, we were actually having a retreat in Chattanooga, which is where I'm from. And I think witnessing firsthand, writing the songs and watching these people open up and share what they've gone through and their feelings in that moment and their feelings now and their families, hearing their family stories. It's just been an experience like no other. And it just really sticks out in my mind from any other experience I've ever had. I mean, I'm a college student. I'm working in classrooms most of the time. You don't hear that in a classroom. So it's very refreshing.
Outstanding. Dawn, she doing a good job?
She always does.
She always does. What are you excited about in the next 3 months here, Don? What are you getting done?
Well, we've got 2 more albums coming out. We're finishing up Volume 6, and then we're finishing up Vietnam Heroes Volume 2. We just did Volume 1 here a while back, and 14 amazing songs. And we got some great songwriters. We got Bobby Tomberlin, we got Will Nance, we got Bill White, Steve Dean, myself, Linda Davis, Hunter Girl. It's just amazing to watch. Well, you know what? Let me say it this way. I've got these gold and platinum records on the walls around here in this room. And they can't hold a candle to a phone call in the middle of the night and some guy saying, Don, you just saved my life again, brother. I had the gun cocked. I had it in my mouth. I didn't pull the trigger. I got my CD that you gave me out. I put it on. I listened to my songs. I listened to my song till daylight. You saved my life, bud. Gold record, platinum record, can't hold a candle to that.
That is a driving force, isn't it, brother?
Yeah. It's just, I can't even, Freedom Sings, we're different than the other programs. We have ongoing classes. We don't just write your song and hand you a CD and say bye. We're like a 12-step program. Our Wednesday class, we're there every Wednesday on Zoom. If you want to attend a class or sit in on a Zoom class, we got people from all over the country, and if we have people that we don't see them for a while, and then they'll have a bad day, and then they'll be back. They'll be back the next Wednesday, and we're there. We've only missed Wednesdays that fell on Christmas or around Thanksgiving. Other than that, we have for 12 years. We've never met. We're there every Wednesday, and I'm
you guys
proud.
Are a blessing. That consistency is such a factor, and for people who don't know, this is just a little FYI information. This name Hunter Girl keeps coming up. Just so you guys know, she was a contestant on American Idol on season 20, and she was the runner-up, and she was a favorite for me in that competition, and in my opinion, she won, and so I'm going to stick with that. Not that I have any stake in it, but Hunter Girl runs. Did she now? So I knew she ran or was involved with a music mission prior to American Idol. Was that Freedom Sings that she was involved with, or was it another organization?
Well, we all started out working with Operation Song, and when Operation Song, they didn't want to do ongoing programming, and so we left and formed Freedom Sings USA, because the veterans just always said, man, I want to come to class. I want to sit there. I want to listen to other people's stories. Man, that's healing for me. And so that's why we've been there every Wednesday for 12 years.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you for clearing that up with me. Gosh, we're going to hear more from you guys. We're going to hear about the big picture here coming up here in the next segment. But we're going to get back to Jack Blaise. Jack, what are you working on right now, brother?
Well, like I said, I've just moved to Nashville. I've been working on getting settled and honestly mostly getting incorporated with the VA here. So I feel like all I've done since I got here is go to the doctor. But yeah, I'm getting settled into Nashville, and I'm looking to start meeting some people to write some songs with. Is really just kind of get out and get into the community. That's really the big.
We might know some people, Jack. Just so you know,
I think we might. Yeah, I think y'all might. And that's yeah, it's I'm just super excited about that. I'm still riding high just off of recording that EP. I got to be honest, that still just has me. It's Andrea told me about the previous show and when it was, so I went back and rewatched it, and I realized that I actually played "I Bow My Head" on that podcast too, but I hadn't had it recorded yet, and just accomplishing that was a really big win for me. So, awesome. So yeah.
What song you want to roll with now?
Well, if you want, I'd like to play "Roses," and then I'd like to kind of talk a little bit about the story behind it and all that afterwards. If you don't, right. We can do that.
I don't know how to address this, folks, but we're going to play "Roses." Per the artist's request, he's asked us to leave our faces on here. It is a track that we're going to stream through, and he wants you to hear the message in this. And I'm just going to say, prepare yourself. This is Jack Blaise, "Roses."
2 hours ago was the best day of my life. Leaving work early to surprise my sweet wife. She'd been down a little lately, and I couldn't wait to see the look on her face when I surprised her with me. 2 hours ago was the best day of my life. I stopped to buy some roses to surprise my wife. A lady behind the counter, she said, "Oh, isn't that sweet? But you know the perfect perfume would make the day complete." So we searched and sniffed some more till we'd sampled the whole damn store. 10 minutes ago was the best day of my life. Open up the front door holding roses for my wife. I wasn't early anymore, but I didn't think she'd mind. Nothing could prepare me for what I would find. Now here it is, the worst day of my life. Hanging in the garage, I found my wife. When I cut her down, wasn't even cold. "20 minutes ago still growing old. So I took that fucking perfume and I smashed it on the ground. Keep calling her name, but she won't make a sound. If I'd have just come home, she might have been saved. Instead, I'm on my knees, wailing, holding roses for her grave.
That was Jack Blaise and Roses.
Wow. That's powerful, brother.
Thank you.
Now
waiting for y'all's reaction. Y'all get to see me. That song gets me every time, honestly. Yeah. So, you know, you asked me, Mark, you know, if that was a true song that happened to me, and then that's usually the first question I get with that, and it didn't happen to me personally, but like I was saying, I was a paramedic with HFD for quite a while, and I made a bunch of suicides, way too many suicides. And was kind of an amalgamation of several different calls that I made that I felt, you know, they still affect me to this day. And I felt it was something that it was one of those songs that was therapy for me to write, for sure. And, you know, and the biggest reason I wanted to put it out and record it and get it out to other people is, you know, kind of like what we were talking about the other day about the difference between first responder trauma and, you know, military trauma, that they're, you know, you never want to compare traumas, but that they're, you know, they're both, they're devastating their own ways. And one thing about being a first responder is, you know, not only do you have the trauma, but then oftentimes you drive by that place on the way to work every day, you know. So it's much more of a kind of a constant thing. And I feel like a lot of, I don't feel like that the conversation around first responder suicide prevention is where it needs to be. And I think that a lot of the things that we see are just kind of, well, that, you know, just like in the military, that's your job, sweep it under the rug, go on to the next call, you know. So it's very, yeah. So it's very personal for me, and I feel like that it's something that needs to be shared, and also, you know, as far as like warning people about it, you know, the disclaimer before the song, I'm always torn because it's like, you know, the whole point of the song is to kind of kick you where it hurts, and blindside you, because that is the reality of suicide. You know, I think people kind of get this idea that, oh, well, yeah, before somebody commits, so, you know, you have the checklist of warning signs if they give away their belongings and they do this and they do that, but sometimes they just don't, and you never know. And you know, suicides happen on Tuesday morning or Tuesday afternoon, or, you know, there's not always warning, and it can be on, you know, the day that's going to be great for you, and you come home and shit, it's not great anymore. And also to drive home the point, you know, one thing that when you go through your mental health journey, they're always asking, you know, well, okay, I freely admit I have suicidal ideation, but I always say I will not do that And one of the main reasons is because I'm a very strong believer in the fact that suicide doesn't make the pain go away. It just gives it to everybody that cares about you, you know. And that's really a bit the big message of that song is that, you know, suicide isn't pretty, and it's not something that it feels like we always kind of talk around the topic of the ugly sides of it. You know, we're gonna raise awareness, we're gonna raise funds, we're gonna do these things, but you know, the actual blood and guts, for lack of a better term of it, is always kind of swept under the rug and hush hush. And I really wanted to bring that out, that, you know, it's not pretty, and it's not something that's easy to talk about, and it's not easy to listen to either.
The part of me is lost for words in the reality, but everything you say is accurate. And I think we spend too much time protecting each other from this. I mean, you don't get to see the real life car crash on the news. And, you know, we dramatize it in every other kind of show. And of course, the movies do what they do. But it is completely different when it's a real life moving onto the scene and you are taking care of people of your community. Houston's a little bit different. Like in my space, St. Francis, Minnesota, which is like 12,000 people, and I'm a school teacher, you're running into these scenes knowing that the people you're going to take care of can and will be people that you see on a daily. And that then all of a sudden is shocking for everyone. Well, you know, I just talked to them. Well, yeah, you did and that's life. And I don't want to minimize that, but the reality is you have first responders that are seeing this kind of stuff on a daily. And we don't do a good job of tracking it. And then you get into the conversation, you know, are we going to use the number 22 or not 22, because the number does fluctuate. And again, we'll have that conversation until we're blue in the face. But the number gets as high as 76 a day, folks. And it's like, okay, when is enough? And when you have roughly 58,000 organizations in the world saying they're helping veterans and first responders, we're missing the mark. But if we can put the glue in there, the music, the build programming, get people involved, reach out, check your six right now, folks. That song is a prime example of check your six. And here's the deal. Just because we're checking our six doesn't mean we're going to catch them all. I'm going to tell you that right now. Because some of them have it set in their mind that this is what they're going to get done. Do I think we can save them? I do think we can save them as well. But it involves being involved. It involves doing something. It involves doing something more than yourself. It involves you reaching out to others. It involves resources. It involves Freedom Sings USA to get the stories out. It involves so much more. And I think that's the piece that get minimized, because we've moved away from the conversation of awareness. And awareness is a dirty word to the People's Patriot Project, because here's the deal. Everyone knows it's happening. But what are you doing? You get me fired up in another area. And again, we're talking veteran and first responder suicide. But again, let's talk about the child trafficking in America. We know it's happening. We're the number one consumer in the world, and we're not doing anything about it. Give me a break. And if you're not doing something about it, shame on you. Shame on you. Got a bit aggressive there. Sorry. You should hear me behind the scenes. It gets a little bit deeper than that. It's not there are some people that would do a song like that for the shock and awe value. We're aware of that. And that is straight from the bones. Here's a real life story. And you ask what the value of having that out there is, it's twofold. Jack's already said it. It was therapeutic for him. The other piece of having a piece out there like that is so other people know they're not the only ones that have dealt with those types of circumstances, and that there are opportunities to, I don't know if the right word's cleanse, but at least expose and have the conversation and build, and what we say, grow, build and grow.
And honestly, I think that you can't, for the general public, it needs to be something that shocks them. It needs to hit them between the eyes, that they hear about it. It's on the fringes. Maybe they know somebody who's in, EMS or being deployed. But until they are shocked by what they hear or understand is real, they don't take another step towards what they can do to help out, or reach out, or reach to somebody to reach out to them, or just understand. I've talked to a lot of first responders that the stigma has not, they can all say, oh yeah, we're very aware, and we're in tune, we're in touch, we talk to people, but not really. The stigma is there. They can't just walk away for a day because the brain isn't working or the heart is on lockdown. They can't. It's not there yet. And so I think, Jack, to your point, the hearing of the song, listening to the words, and realizing this is just one example of one day of one person, one situation that is dealt with on the other end. So yeah, thank you for putting it out there.
Well, thank y'all for listening.
Absolutely.
And I just wanted to add that the whole reason I didn't want the video playing was not so much that I wanted to see y'all's reaction. It was so much that I really wanted the song to be like the main focus, and I think people can get distracted by videos and stuff, if that made sense. So
no,
sure.
Totally get it. This is your show, brother. This is, and that's when you are mixed an artist and you need to have the media or medium represented, there's a way. I mean, this is how I want to present it, and that is we're game, brother. 2,000 people.
I just wanted to say, I have to shout out though my producer Taylor Tatch on that, because he added so much to that song to really help me drive that point home. The organ and the word we used for that song is Kubrick-esque. So
2,000 people a day. That's the number. Too many. And then the secondary trauma to that, when the first responders are going home and spending that time with their families and children, and then also having to deal and trying to suppress the stuff without, because you got to be macho. You can't not be macho and do that job. So you hide it. And then after you hide so many of them, you're like, you got to deal with you. And so, Don, you had some comments. Tell us your thoughts there, brother.
Well, PTSD is it follows them home from the war, man, and it's just, then you go to the VA and they load you up with pills, and that doesn't help; just messes your mind up. So it's so hard. We're going to be playing a song later called Secondary PTSD. So many people, we have written, oh gosh, I couldn't even tell you how many songs with mothers, fathers, brothers, and sisters who who've lost their loved ones to suicide. And those are the saddest songs I've ever worked on. There's just no way you can put into words any hope for the ones that are left behind. And then you can't not feel sorry for the veteran. When it's hard to live with. It's painful. It's morally wounded. So many come home morally wounded. We're taught our whole life, thou shalt not kill. And then you come home and guy says to me, first time you look down the barrel and you line your sights up and you pull that trigger and you take a life, innocence is gone. Innocence is gone. And you're going to be living with it the rest of your life. It's those dreams that wake them up in the middle of the night, and then they lay there and can't go back to sleep. And then they start looking for a way out. It's just sad. It's just so sad. I don't mean to be totally negative, but it's just nothing good you can say about it,
Agreed. Never get that one. I'm trying to load that song. But while we're working on that piece, Frank DeMyth, our in-house scholar, how about the news?
Well, we got a lot of news today. Let's see what we want to do here first. All right, this is one that I snuck in here because it's about a fellow military academy graduate who did some great things after he left the service. So his name is Bill Rohde, and he graduated from my alma mater in 1970. And when he graduated, he did what a lot of people don't normally do. He immediately volunteered as a second lieutenant to go to Vietnam. So, of course, if you raise your hand at that point in time and you say you want to go, you're gone, you're there. So he went there, and it just so happened that his father had been an academy graduate, and his name was Colonel William H. Rohde Sr. And he graduated in 1940, and he helped put together a program called the Nike Missile System at Redstone Arsenal. And he worked alongside the famous missile developer Wernher von Braun. And he was involved in putting together the missile and the requirements for the atomic bombs. Well, it so happens that his son, when he went into service, joined as an air defenseman as well. And he trained on the second generation of that same missile. But we didn't use those in Vietnam, so he had the Quad 50s and some other things, and it was mostly for base defense and stuff like that. Well, make a long story short, he got out of the military, and he got several awards while he was there. And he went on to Harvard for an MBA. And in 1979, he took a chance and joined a brand new company called Home Box Office. And he helped provide all the wiring and everything across the United States for HBO to start, which turned into MTV, CNN, MTV, Nickelodeon and others. And in the late 80s, they decided that they wanted to move this to Europe. So he went to Germany, and they started putting satellite dishes on the apartments. And it just so happened that somehow or another, some of those satellite dishes made their way over to Eastern Germany, and they started to spread. And so it was the first time that people in the Soviet bloc countries were able to see Western music, movies, and everything else. So eventually, he was there in '89 when the wall came down. And later he had meetings with the prior leader of the Soviet Union. And after the wall came down and they had started having their meetings 2 decades later in 2009, he stood alongside Mikhail Gorbachev, who called him Missile Man and claimed that he was part of the reason that spurred the people within all the communist bloc countries to urge for independence, and the uprisings led to the fall of the wall. So going from the bottom of his class in the military academy, almost the very end, all the way through getting medals, becoming a big businessman, and aiding in the fall of communism and the fall of the wall. I thought that was a really good story. And I'm a little biased. Okay, I'll make the other ones a little shorter because I know I was long-winded on that one. I'm normally not. There's these events that go on across the country, and every state has them at one point in time. They're called Care Vet Affairs. And Georgia had one recently, and they had over 1,200 veterans, service members, and caregivers and family members in Rome, Georgia. And they laid out all the stuff that they need to do. They had Advent Health there. The fair connected attendees with claims specialists, healthcare enrollment teams, medical providers, employment resources, caregiver support, burial pre-certification services, which is really important, and I encourage everybody to look into that, and more than 120 veteran serving organizations. And they did some amazing things. And every time I see one of these, and you don't see them in the news very often, but every time I see one, I'm going to bring it up and thank the individuals who ran those, because they're great for veterans and their families. All right. The next story. This is a good one. And you know, I've got my hat on, the dog father. And this one kind of struck a note with me. They had in Wisconsin a while back, everybody remembers, they had the big breeding facility that was being used for laboratory research and other things. And thank God it was closed down. Well, they took the dogs from those facilities and they tried to place them across the country. And there was an organization called Paws of War, and the co-founder picked up quite a few of these dogs. I think may have been 100. And they took them and they spent several weeks with the facility just trying to get them familiarized with what dogs are really supposed to do, because being locked up in those crates and being used for experiments and other things, they had lost their feeling of, you know, what a real dog or a normal dog or a dog outside of those facilities does. So eventually they took the dogs that they had and they started pairing them up with veterans. And it turned out in the end to be a great program, and everybody was happy and thankful that they had a new pet. And I'm sure those dogs, for as long as they live, will bond with their owners and thank the day that they were rescued. And if anybody thinks dogs don't have feelings, they haven't had a dog. And the last story comes from the I can't believe this really happened. And we got another doozy here. So there is an ancient tree, an oak tree, that was said to have sheltered Robin Hood, and it has died, and it had to be cut down. Well, this tree was 1,200 years old, and it's called a major oak in Sherwood Forest. I don't know why it didn't get promoted to colonel, but it's a major oak, Sherwood Forest, and it died. And the Royal Society for Protection of Birds brought out the news that they thought it was the actual tree where Robin Hood hid to avoid being captured. And so they all were very sorry that the tree fell down. And when they took the tree down and they started to remove the limbs, they started to find dozens of men with green tights. And I guess that was his not so merry men. So God bless them, and hope they don't make a movie about that.
You made that up.
Well, I'm a writer. I make stuff up all the time. That's my job.
No green tights, you weirdo. Gosh dang it.
That was cold.
They made a movie about them. Remember the men in tights?
I do remember. I actually saw
it was a terrible movie.
Yeah, funny. I thought on our news, just in the Twin Cities here, just last night, those beagles. There were like 2 or 3 families apparently around here that got some of those beagles, and they were just showing how happy they were and settled and hoofda. It's a lot of dogs.
That just, I understand medicine and everything, but I don't understand that.
No.
My first degree was in psychology, and I had to get out. There's some things I just did not understand, and this will age me a little bit, but I'm going through school at the time, and it's when Andrea Yates did what she did down in Texas. And if you don't know that story, absolutely gruesome. And then David Koresh is bouncing around down there doing that. It's a Texas thing, I think, but whatever. I was just like, yeah, I don't get some of this stuff. It's being a cowboy from Cody, Wyoming, and saying to go cowboy up probably is not a good psychological processing. So I don't understand the hoarding of animals. I don't understand any of that stuff.
I can't even spell psychology.
I don't like to smell the dog we have in our house right now, let alone all of those. So whatever. Thanks for the news, Frank the Myth.
Anytime, brother.
We're trying to. We got the link to the webpage for 100 Girls Song on PTSD. We tend to have some audio issues when we do that, but we'll run with it here in a minute. But we've kind of covered all the bases, to be honest with you. The next stanza of our show is, what is the big vision? What is the vision? Where are you going? Don, why don't you start this one off for us for Freedom Sings USA? The ultimate vision, where are you going, and how you're going to get there?
Okay. Did you say me or did you say Macy?
I said you, Mr. Goodman.
Okay. All right. After 52 years in the music business, my hearing isn't what it used to be. But, well, our big mission right now is we have classes, and if anybody would like to come to one of our classes, you can just go to info@freedomsingsusa.org and just let us know you'd like to attend one of our classes. We have female veterans classes. We have one class in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. If anybody is around the Murfreesboro or Nashville area, come down to the Veterans Research Center on Rice Street in Murfreesboro. And our big mission, our goal, our future is to just keep reaching out across this country and just going everywhere we can go and spread the word. This last year, we have written songs all over the United States. We had classes in California. We got the female class. We got a class in Chattanooga, class in Murfreesboro, class in Illinois, and we're open them everywhere. That's why I said earlier, be careful what you pray for. We have a lot more going on than we do staff. But if I could say one thing that we would love to accomplish this next year, I would say it would be to reach those who can't be reached. You know, those who are stuck in their house, those who can get on a computer and join us. Our Wednesday class is, you know, just come, give your name to info at freedomsingsusa.org, and we'll reach out to you. We'll call you. We'll help you write your song, turn your story into a song. I just hope we can keep growing and find some sponsors this year that will enable us to bring on a little staff that can help us accomplish so much more. But Macy, have you got anything you would like to add to that?
I think you hit it on the head, Don. I mean, the whole goal is to reach as many people as you can. And our classes going all across the country and even outside of the country, it's the most important thing. That's how you reach people.
Macy, this whole format of what we're doing might be new to you. I don't know what your experiences are and how you've experienced the life and world. I'm not going to ask your age. I know you're going to college, so I'm guessing lower 30s at least. No, I'm just kidding. What do you think when you hear? I mean, your father served in the Marines, and you said that his service had happened. This was pre-show stuff, folks. That his service had actually happened before you were born. But what do you think when you hear the things that we're discussing during this format?
It's very moving. I grew up not really understanding why he went into the Marines and why he came out the way he did. And being able to hear everyone's stories firsthand is just something you can't really explain. You can't learn it. You can't imagine it. You have to experience it firsthand. And it's one of the most powerful things. And you learn a lot. You learn a lot about other people and the systems that we have in this country. And again, it's something you can't learn. You can't learn it in school. You just have to experience it.
Not that we're here to teach you any of this stuff and drive it home. Is this exposure? Because I'm claiming you to be kind of the 90% we're trying to get the information to. Is there a value to the information you're receiving through this stuff?
Oh, of course. I believe there's value in everything that's placed in my life, but exposure, this is exposure. There's no better way for it. I think being online and being digital is really helping us reach a lot of people, and it's teaching me and it's teaching my my schoolmates. We're all learning together and bridging the gap between generations, and it's just been a whirlwind.
See, that amazing person right up there is the reason why I wrote my books. That's the kind of person who who I'm trying to reach as well to inform them what it's like when soldiers deploy and what they go through. So thank you for your comments. I appreciate it.
Macy,
There's
what are you going to
always
school
learning.
for? Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I just wanted to say there's always learning to be done.
Are you the smart one in your class?
Some would say.
He is now.
What are you going to school for?
I'm majoring in marketing right now.
Do you think you see yourself working with Freedom Sings USA for an extension of your life?
I do. I think it's become such a part of my life so early that I can't imagine anytime soon leaving that. And whether that means becoming a volunteer in the future, Freedom Sings will not be getting rid of me anytime soon if I have anything to do with it.
Are you originally from the Tennessee area?
Yes, I'm born and raised in Chattanooga.
Chattanooga. All right.
Chattanooga.
There's a lot of marketing that needs to happen in that space. You'll be good to go. You're good to go.
So what Institute of Higher Learning are you attending?
The University of Chattanooga University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. Excuse me.
There you go.
Yes. In the UT system.
Well, normally we don't do 4 songs in a show, but I'm going to go ahead and we're going to play Hunter Girl's Secondary PTSD lyric video, and then we will come back to Jack, get his, and then we'll do final thoughts to end the show out. So this is a song that Freedom Sings USA has sent to us. It involves the contestant of American Idol, Miss Hunter Girl. I actually know the research. She's got a different name too, but this is what she goes by in the world. But this is
something
Hunter Girl, Secondary PTSD.
Yeah, I'd like to just say that she wrote this when she was 19 years old. It's just amazing.
That's another piece altogether right there. Here's Hunter Girl.
I love my daddy, yeah, I really do. But I hate the hell that took the man I never knew. The one who didn't have a 45 by his bedside, nightmares that tear his mind up at night. And when he'd walk into a room, the battlefield was a hardwood floor, bombs going off or slamming doors. The bullets were the words he shot at me. Was I a soldier, an enemy, or just a child in a war only he could see? Didn't know that I signed that line to be in secondary PTSD. No, I didn't get the daddy that the good Lord made me. I just got the father that Vietnam gave me. Falling corners and bouncing quarters, I was a recruit, not a daughter. The battlefield was a hardwood floor, bombs going off or slamming doors. The bullets were the words he shot at me. Was I a soldier, an enemy, or just a child in a war only he could see? that battlefield was a hardwood floor, bombs going off, slamming doors. The bullets were the words he shot at me. Was I a soldier in an enemy, or just a child in a war only he could see? Didn't know that I signed that line to be. No, I didn't know I signed that line to be. In secondary PTSD. I love my daddy, yeah, I really do. But I hate the hell that took the man I never knew.
That is Hunter Girls, Secondary PTSD. Goes right along with the conversation Jack talked about as well. It's just amazing, amazing, amazing. Real life, real world, people dealing with and doing the best they can with what they got.
I think every family should hear that. Every family should be part of signing up.
You know, that when that stranger comes home, you know, it's not the person that left, the person who was always laughing, always happy. And then when this stranger walks in and it just rips your heart out. It's just so sad.
Well, all of you have been a blessing to us tonight. And the stories that are coming out and the passion in helping veterans and first responders and just the stories that literally need to be heard, just need to be heard. We were talking about shock and awe. Remember when, this is graphically going to another spot, but remember how appalled we were during the first part of the Iraqi war when they were capturing people and for the first time, Americans were seeing people being beheaded. And it's like, oh, no, you can't do that. I'm like, we don't follow the rest of the world's rules. And when it comes to real life exposure, real life things, you don't get to hide from the traumas you experience. So get over your bougie little self and realize that there are people that have given you the freedoms and the liberties that you have at the cost of emotional distress. Because, and again, don't come with me that, well, you knew what you were signing up for. That garbage doesn't float with me at all. That doesn't float. You can hear that story in absolutely every job on the face of the earth. And to help, to support, to build, to grow, to make a difference in protecting everyone that's listening to this and everyone that doesn't listen to this, to protect your property and yourself because your lack of planning or processing. No, I didn't sign up for that. I'm sorry, I didn't. And so you don't realize that that's the kind of stuff you're going to get into, the mix. Anyway, I digress. I got that from Shannon Book. I digress. I can go about that stuff all day long. Let's grow. Jack, Blaise, what's the next big, amazing thing you're going? I mean, you're learning in Nashville. We're going to get you connected with this network of people down there. I'm going to, and I want to introduce you to Stephen Cochran as well, who runs Label 22 down there. I was just looking at one of his posts. He's got a new musician we're going to bring on as well. I want you to be in that camp as well. You don't have to do that. I'm just coaching from the sidelines over here. But we'll get that connection going and build and grow there. Tell me what you are going to get done, brother.
Well, I appreciate any and all connections. And before that, I wanna piggyback real quick and just add that you don't know what you're signing up for. I don't care what anybody says, because just like Don was saying about looking down the rifle, there are things that you just cannot anticipate until you're there, and it doesn't matter. You can read about it, you can hear about it, you can be told about it, and you won't know and you won't understand until you get there. So. Again, well said. There's no such thing as, oh, you knew what you signed up for. No, you just don't. As far as me, my plan is to really just throw everything I have into learning to write better songs and writing better songs. That is my goal in life these days, specifically to tell stories like these and to help other people tell stories and just be a better artist, communicate better. That's it. That's what I want.
Got it. We'll get you there. Build and grow. Do it together, right? It's easier when you're doing it with the team, man. It's easier when you're doing it with the team. What's your last song? You're going to play the last song live for us.
Awesome. Yes, I am going to play it live, and I think it's going to go well with exactly what we were just talking about. This is called The Old Lover's Waltz, and it's a love song, and it goes out to all the women that stand by us, crazy people that end up broken. So, well, come on in, baby. Turn out the light. Lay down beside me and hold me tonight. Help me remember I'm still a man. Just let me love you the best I can. 'Cause you're still my lover. You're still my best friend. You're who I want with me when we get to the end. Yeah, this is the old lover's waltz. This is for those who've paid the cost. This is for those who've lived and lost. So let's dance the old lover's waltz. Yes, come dance the old lover's waltz. I know you know me like no other could. And I know you love me like no other would. So let's try to go back to before we lost sight, before the years and the tears made us old before our time. Yes, you're still my lover. You're still my best friend. You're who I want with me when we get to the end. Yeah, this is the old lover's waltz. This is for those who've paid the cost. This is for those who've lived and lost. So let's dance the old lover's waltz. Yes, this is the old lover's waltz. This is for those who've paid the cost. This is for those who've lived and lost. So let's dance dance the old lovers' waltz. Yes, come dance the old lovers' waltz. Well, this was the old lovers' waltz.
That was Jack Blaise with Old
Thank you.
Lovers Waltz. You know what? That one's going to come down a little special when you do the playback, Jack, because we didn't get a good pickup on your guitar. So it sounded, and I know you're using the guitar for like tone, and it sounded a cappella, and it was spot on, dude.
Oh, awesome. Cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. So amazing story again. Thank you for being who you are, Jack.
Thank y'all for having me. This is always such a great time on this show.
Well, we appreciate that. There is so many things I'd like to get involved in and have a conversation about and build and grow and just, again, continue to collaborate and have conversation. But it is that time, and we've got to bring the show to a close, unfortunately. And we get to do this, again, another Proud Papa moment. It's just building relationships and continuing to do the mission. And we've got an amazing panel tonight. I want to thank everyone who was on here tonight. If you have time to hang after the show, great. If you got to get flying, I understand. But we're at the last part, the last segment, and it's called Our Final Thoughts. And we usually let Frank do this, start off with this, and then we'll go to Macy, Jack, Don, Andrea, then I will bring it to a close. Frank, go ahead, brother.
All right. Let's talk about something a little different this go around. I've had a kind of a medical breakthrough this week, and it reminds me that if you just keep on pushing forward, sometimes things work out right in the end. And that's kind of what happened to me this week. I've had COVID twice this year, and after every bout of COVID, I've ended up with vertigo. And I've had vertigo before, and you can do these little exercises and get rid of the symptoms pretty quick. But these two times, it wouldn't go away. And I spent days, like 3 or 4 or 5 days each time, couldn't walk straight, couldn't stand up, falling down, hitting the walls all the time when I try to do things. And somebody on my LinkedIn page put down a note in one of the things that I dropped and said, have you tried to take antihistamine? And I said, well, I'm not allergic to anything. I've never been allergic. And so I tried, and it works. And I've gotten rid of the vertigo. I'm back to normal, except for the fact that I don't know what I'm allergic to. And I just say this because so many of us veterans, we have issues, and we go and try to find out what they are. And sometimes the doctors give us the right diagnosis, and sometimes they don't. But if what you're told doesn't work, go back and ask to see somebody else and get a second opinion, and until you get to the point where whatever it is that you have is fixed. And just don't stop. Don't give up. And God help everybody that has issues and they're trying to work through. God bless y'all.
Miss Macy. Final thoughts.
Well, first, I would just like to thank you for letting me join your show. It's been a great time, and I learn a lot through things like this, and I'm meeting amazing people, and I'm very grateful for that. I guess if I just had to leave anything to anyone listening, there's so many ways to get involved with Freedom Sings and really with anything. I mean, You can attend concerts and classes and events. You can donate. You can volunteer, or simply just follow us and share someone's story. Any person, any story, it all matters. And reaching the right people is what it's all about.
Excellent. It was a blessing having you on tonight, dear. Mr. Blaise.
Yeah, I think I would just like to kind of revisit the what feels like the central theme of this show was that, you know, veterans, first responders, we don't go through this alone. You know, family support is huge. Family impact is huge. And if you don't have somebody right next to you in your immediate family, you know, find a support group. And I am guilty of not doing that myself. And it's just a great message to, you know, don't go through this stuff alone. You just don't have to. There's lots of resources out there, lots of people out there that are looking to help.
Mr. Goodman.
I will echo Jack. Don't face it alone. Don't face it alone. Reach out, find help, call an old battle buddy. You know, come to a class, sit in, build new friendships. I'd like to read a very brief little verse that we wrote in the Murfreesboro class with Gold Star Mother. The chorus of the song says, "These white stars on a field of blue, our nation's love, but honey, they're not you. It's stained with tears, it's not my son. It can't hold me when I'm coming undone. I await the day in heaven when we will hold each other." That's the story of a folded flag and a Gold Star Mother.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Mr. Goodman. Miss Eichmann. Mike.
I said I will follow that one, but I would like to start it out with "That's why writers write," and then I follow them, right? I was just actually thinking about our conversations throughout the show, and the focus is on clearly a lot more work needs to be done with the awareness world. And like Peterson said earlier, we're tired of awareness and want to be boots on the ground. But with bringing people in under the theme of awareness, we need to really focus on getting ahead of the struggle by reaching people before they find themselves in that crisis. And that's weird because that's like the mission of the People's Patriot Project right there. And in just visiting with the people on the panel, it's clearly the thoughts of more than just the People's Patriot Project. Never wanting anyone, I just want to reiterate that, never wanting anyone to feel like they are alone. And I think everybody here tonight brought that with them, from veterans to families to first responders to community people. There's every side of things. There's no two stories, no two paths that are exactly the same, no two experiences that are the same, but there are people that understand the weight of the service, the burden that's carried, and those around us and around you that care deeply, and they're ready to be there for you. And that's really hard to say, knowing that that's not who you want to dump it on. Totally understood. Checking in, you guys, check your sticks, check your 436, listen without judgment, and then just keep reminding them that they matter. That's really the biggest thing. Sorry, Jack. I just read an email today. We lost a former student. And I'm pretty sure this is the direction it went. Just hit me pretty hard right now. Sorry. The community needs to stick together. We need to look at that asking for help as positive and strong and keep it rolling. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrea. We are here and we are with you. And I feel like this is another successful opportunity of building and growing, collaborating, and finding more and new resources. It's been echoed several times throughout the show. Don't do it by yourself. Reach out, have conversations, build and grow. All these. We do this every weekend, and I don't ever want it to become cliche, because when it becomes cliche, you lose the power. But it requires a step, and it requires a step forward. It's not, I don't know the right word. It's not complacent. If you're sitting in a space and you're not doing anything, you become stagnant, and that's where I think a lot of us get and go, and that's not growth. That's dying slowly, and at some point there ends up being a decision, and I think we can be better. And when I say we, I'm talking the panel, I'm talking about the world, I'm talking all of we, the people. We can be better. And I do think it requires a little bit of action. Check your six. Andrea said that. It's in the songs of Jack and Hunter Girl. It's in the mission of Freedom Sings. It's in the mission of the People's Patriot Project. If you believe what we're doing, it's important to get this content out in front of other people as well. Like and share. Our YouTube is never grown very big, and it is. I'm not going to pay for that. I'm not going to go out and pay for a list of people that aren't in our space. I watch other people's accounts do that. We're not doing that. But we do need to get people on to WeP3 Radio. We need people on the People's Patriot Project YouTube channel. We need it's more impactful. Phil Cook, thank you for being here, brother. You're an amazing part of the mission. and the others that have come. And there's some new people in there I saw tonight. Build and grow, and let's grow. We thank you, Don and Macy, for being here. Freedom Sings USA, thank you. Thank you, Jack Blaise, already set out some network conversations. Frank and Andrea for the WeP3 team on putting together We Got Your 6 at 6. Thank you. Thank you for the friends and family that support what we're getting done. And thank you for our listeners that come and check us out weekly. We are getting it done. We are still ranked in the top 5 of good pods, and we want to keep going in that direction. We got to take off that Kaufman. We got to go get him. He's always dancing up there in first place. He's a good friend and a veteran in our network, and so we love him to death and what he's doing. We just need to challenge him a little bit. We all need to be better. Go check your 6. Thank you for being here. Patriot Pride, and we'll see you when the smoke clears. Oh, I forgot to say, we got our guest next week. JJ Hardy will be here, and Theory. That's another level of country, or not country, rock, rap. They get it done. Come check them out tomorrow at 16:30. For those who don't know military, that's 4:30. We will be here back with the People's Patriot Project, WeP3 Weekly Debrief. We'll get it all in there. Again, go check your 6. We'll see you when the smoke clears. Patriot Pride.